So for those that aren't aware, Tuesday in Detroit, Kamala Harris will be being interviewed by Charlemagne the God in Detroit, and it will be specifically to address and highlight her economic policies that will benefit black men. So basically, after the past week, Kamala has been trending kind of low with black men. So in a panic, she has decided to put together a little committee this week to highlight the policies that supposedly will help black men. So Charlemagne will be there hosting. I'm kind of curious. I'll watch it just to see what it's about.
Of course.
I'm not excited because I'm not excited at all about it.
Why?
Because I'm trying to see the trick bag words Democrats use whenever they address black people. Because I look for the word black when they talk to us, and not word salad, minorities, and people of color. Because that's the trick bag they use.
So
like,
the trick bag,
helping out people of color.
So
and minorities.
You want specific.
I want to hear the word black.
Black. Okay.
Black community, black man, black people. I want to hear those words out of Kamala's mouth and how they relate to her plan.
Okay, man. So let's fast forward to now, what we about to get into when it comes to Obama talking to black men.
Communities is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. When you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences.
I listened to what he said.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? As a black man, I consider myself an alpha male. I didn't take anything what he said offensive, because what he was saying was true. And then if people want to be real about this, right? If you're not putting in, meaning you're not, I just said 2008, when the Supreme Court said there's no limitation as far as how much money goes in campaign. So now you can actually literally buy a politician with they telling you to your face. So now, if you are the black community, we just gave examples of the 60 movement, how certain things was geared towards black people, and other than black people did not fully benefit. And then when they put in a system to help break down and despair and pretty much create broken homes with the welfare system and shit, that did not benefit us. So now let's move forward. We're 60, the 60s, that was like 60 something years ago. We're here now. We got a black woman who has the opportunity to be president. We got black men, misogynist black men, who don't want to vote for her for some of the, in my opinion, some of the dumbest reasons. And I've heard some of the stupidest shit. So when Obama was telling his story of how it affected the race when he was in office, it's the same shit going around. Everybody turned out in 2008 and voted for him. But everybody forgot when he went into office, he had the House, he had the Senate. He had what any party would want, that is both House and the presidency. It took him half his first term to get the Affordable Care Act pushed through because too much in-house fighting in the Democratic Party. So then when the midterms came around in 2010, them same came out in 2008, they didn't come back and vote again. So when you don't vote again, right, that just made that man's job just as much harder, because that means whoever could have been in position to help push his agenda, which could help direct black folks, that's gone. It's eviscerated. Because people don't even know. I'm going to give you a Democrat here in North Carolina that was the main one bucking against him, and he was trying to push the affordable hat. Heath Shuler. Heath Shuler used to play quarterback at Tennessee. He was a Democrat out in the western part of the state, and he was one of the biggest mouths in the House that was bucking against Obama about this Affordable Care Act. You feel what I'm saying? So again, for black agendas to get what they want, you got to be consistent. Let me take it a step further. Every major business that's being offered or doing stuff right now, they don't even cater to black folks at all. They sitting here going straight. I just gave up football. Football, when they do Latino month and stuff, they are catering to them. Why is that when the sport is 80%?
Because they know that black people gonna go buy their stuff regardless because of
black people is not. Black people is not spending his money like that. Every other than black folks, Latinos.
You say we don't spend no money.
No, we don't spend money towards stuff like that.
Like
we
what?
spend money on frivolous
like
things.
what?
Frivolous. I can say this because I'm a business owner. I created 2 businesses that was I'm telling you
stuff like what?
What specifically are you talking about?
Because black people spend money.
They don't. You do. They spend money, but how many black folks are gonna go to the Super Bowl and spend about 15,000 just to go watch a game? Not many. You rather they're more interested.
People, period.
Say what?
Not many people.
Exactly.
Period.
So who goes to those things? Whites, Latinos, other than. So they're gearing their business model around them because them the ones that's spending money, even though the sport is over 80% black. Every business that's out here doesn't.
But we spend money too, though. Like, okay, so
I'm not saying we don't. I'm not saying we don't spend money.
Is like, so boom, you're a Cowboys fan. You have any Cowboys paraphernalia?
Yeah,
you have a bunch of it, I'm sure.
I have enough.
So we're going to spend our money. We're going to spend our money.
Yeah, but we also going to spend. We're not going to be as consistent spending. Let me give you an example. I bought a Cowboys. I told my people don't buy nothing until we get to the Super Bowl. You feel what I'm saying? Exactly. I'm just telling you. I'm just saying. Even though sometimes they still do it anyway, but see, other than me, they gonna still keep buying because why? They a diehard Cowboys fan. You feel what I'm saying? So now the business model's not gonna be created for me because I'm diluting reason when I'm going to spend my money. You feel what I'm saying? When people put up a business, they want a business to make money every day because for them to make money every day, they got to pay their workers outside of before they get to them. So you can't pay your workers a livable wage if you're not making money. So now let's go back to voting. Blacks want black agenda things. You have to vote. Outside the presidency, you got to vote. Win the presidency, you got to vote in midterms. You have to vote every time. You know why? Because then now they have to take you serious.
But
they don't take us serious.
They don't
now.
take. I just told you why. We don't vote regularly like we supposed to.
That goes back to you voting locally though. That's the start of everything.
Right. So if you're not even voting, right. So if you're not voting, if you're not voting locally,
worried about the federal.
Yeah, like but the local part sets up the federal part. So
exactly
right. So it goes back to what I'm saying. If you're not voting consistently, outside, when do mostly blacks come out and vote? During the presidency. That's when they come out and vote, and that's when they come out and vote from locally on.
Yeah.
For the ones that, for most of us, like myself, I vote every election cycle. The numbers doesn't show the political pundits, the lawmakers, like, oh, we can pitch around them. We can talk at them and not to them. Because why? We know when we need to talk to them. We know when the presidency come around, we go ahead and tell them what the hell they want to hear. But why do white folks and every other get theirs? They vote every time. So when we vote
every time.
No, we don't.
Yes,
we don't.
We do.
In numbers, we don't. And the numbers don't lie. We do not vote as heavily like right now. The presidency, we're going to come out in numbers. 2 years from now, we're not going to come out in numbers like we are right now.
The sad part is they're blaming us for the lack of voting. It's not the lack of excitement for politics.
I'm going to speak to Hassan's point because you only hear I'm not voting from who?
Kamala.
No, black people. Black people usually are the ones who say I'm not going to vote this time. I'm just not.
Okay. Well, you have to understand.
No,
why.
but to Hassan's point, like he's saying, like even if you don't want to vote,
You have to vote.
you still gotta
Do you
go
know how many?
vote.
Do you not know how many black people died trying to vote?
I understand that.
so-
Right. So
They
the
didn't
fact-
die for the power. They died for the power that comes with voting.
Regardless,
if we're voting
so
with no power, then
right.
they died
So
for
now,
nothing.
why complain when you don't want to use the damn power that your ancestors died
We
for?
are.
No, you're not. You're not doing it on a consistent basis to
I
where
agree.
you can
it's
force
not the act of voting; it's the power that comes with voting.
So-
the fact that politicians have to cater to your interest to earn
And
your
why
vote.
do they cater to your interests? Because that means
'Cause
you
they
come
need
out.
your vote.
You need that means you vote every time. If you only come out and vote out of every election cycle,
It
it's
means
for-
they're not speaking towards your interest.
they're not going to speak towards your interests if you don't come out and vote all the time.
Then don't talk to us during the election
In
cycle.
this case, you got two options of your power: your money or your vote. If you don't do either or do it consistently, you're talking out your ass. Plain and simple. The reason why them white folks get what they want, they vote every time. The reason why them other people get what they want, they vote every time.
It's not-
Even
they're-
if it,
They will never let you vote out of your oppression.
What he's saying is, even if it's not to their interest,
Yes, they're voting.
Still going to vote because eventually you're
they
gonna
gotta
get in
talk
my
to you
interest.
because they looking
Because
at.
I've been
Listen,
consistent
when
and-
politicians get out here and make these pitches, they're looking at the data. The data tells them who to talk to, what to say to them, everything. If they know they can tiptoe around us because we come out in spurts, we come out when it's emotional, when it's something, they know how to get around us. You're not putting no pressure on them. And if you're not putting no money in these races, you definitely so. Because like I just said, 2008, they told you loud and clear, two ways you're gonna win an election. You're gonna do it in voting or you're gonna pay some money, or both.
Okay, but we're going to get back to the topic at hand. The topic at hand was
Kamala being in Tuesday in Detroit, working with Charlemagne to basically discuss and highlight her economic policies that can benefit black people. I'm assuming the reason she's doing this is because she now wants to reach out to black men. And I kind of find it all kind of condescending just for the simple fact, if Kamala's half Indian, what is she doing to reach out to the Indian American community? And
She don't have to because they coming out to vote. We just said it.
they
don't-
already said they're not supporting her based on her nationality or the
Okay,
background.
but they gonna. They're still,
They have said that
They
as a-
said it.
as a
But how many? But hold on. I'm
But
about to
it
get ready to
comes
push
out-
back because this is where I'm gonna call BS on that. Because how many they're gonna see in their lifetime somebody like them in the most powerful position on the planet? So that's BS. They're going to vote for her because she's a nationality. That's where she come from.
I mean, it's more because we are the group that's always left behind. So you always say you want to be talked to specifically. So now,
here we are.
When you get talked to
I mean, we're-
specifically,
who cares
then
when
you come up with the condescending remarks. It's just like
You know
when
why
you're
it's
talking-
condescending?
Why?
Okay, go.
But
Because she wants it now.
But that's
Who
just
cares?
like, hold on. That's just like when you were talking about when Obama was speaking to black men. You said it felt kind of condescending.
I did.
To me,
It does.
I
well,
don't.
go ahead. Why do you feel it felt
I
condescending?
feel that, well, number one, I feel it's condescending because Obama only pops up to pretty much try and shame black men. Okay? Now, Obama has been doing this ever since he's left office, where every Democratic presidential cycle, he'll pop up to talk down to black men. Tell your cousin Pookie, tell your cousin Ray Ray to vote. He creates this narrative that African American men are not voting because we're lazy, when in actuality, we're just not supporting. Basically, there has been an increase in black men supporting Trump. Now, I don't support Trump. I don't agree with Trump. But what they're doing is they're panicking now because they aren't guaranteed the black man vote in the numbers that they wanted. So now they're sitting here panicking, freaking out. They're having this last minute discussion on Tuesday in regards to highlighting her economic policies. And they're doing all this last minute reaching out to black men because they see how much she's alienated black men during her presidential term and her policies.
She's not a president. She's a vice president.
And she ain't done as the vice president.
Well, of course. What the can she do?
When Obama talked, I look at it like my dad talking.
Right.
Like you see what I'm saying? And I don't know if people have had a dad who talks to them and it's like he's not going to sugarcoat it. He's not going to be cute with it.
Because if he did that, you'd be bitching about that.
But not just that. You know, sometimes it's how you have to be talked to. Sometimes we get in our feelings about certain things, and I go back to when my dad was talking to me, and I'd get in my feelings. But in reality, that might be how he needed to talk to me.
Nah, we're grown ass men. Obama don't need the
We're definitely
waggers.
grown men, but sometimes you have to be given it. You have to be fed. You have to be fed it.
But that's why it's condescending.
Wow.
Why can't you talk to us like normal people? Why you gotta put the slang in it? Just like when they were trying to bring Ebonics.
He put the slang. So you got a problem because he can talk like that?
No, I have a problem when he creates a narrative that African American men are lazy.
He created a
which is
narrative.
why we're not voting.
Listen, man. He sat right there and described his
I don't think he created that narrative.
Exactly. He never created that narrative.
Perpetuates the narrative.
How he perpetuate the
He
narrative?
literally just created a speech, and it was a condescending tone, making sure we tell
Now
everybody.
you got 3 people here. You got 4 men here.
Yes.
3 out of 4 done said they did not take it condescending.
as in he's telling you to get out and vote.
No, he's talking down to us.
How he talking down? He didn't say you some bull. Trump, you got Trump out here talking. You got Trump talking way worse than him and gravitating to that. So a man who talking elegant to your ass with some sense, you got a problem with that.
I'm gonna tell you.
Kind of
Who talks
that's
down?
a weak ass.
It's a fake narrative.
He ain't create that shit, man.
He keeps saying
He didn't create that.
He keeps saying we're not voting for Kamala or we don't support her because we're misogynist and all this.
And that's
shit.
true.
No,
That's true. Because I've heard. That's true.
But that is not the reason why she has had a 5% drop in the increase of support of black men. There is not a huge 5% voting of black men that fall into that category.
Mm-hmm.
The reason we're not excited is because, again, she got to put some together for Tuesday because she hasn't been reaching out to African American men properly.
So now we're gonna. She didn't tell us. She didn't say that to us in the beginning. What the? So the fact that she's doing, but listen though, but listen to what you're saying though, bro.
Yes.
You're saying because now. So if she done it 2 weeks ago, a month ago, or
When
the
she
beginning, when she first announced it, you would have had no problem with that.
Could have been,
See,
because this is a last minute.
So now this is where
This wasn't
so
planned.
now this is where I go back and say,
Yes.
you cannot cry about you don't vote. I'm not. Hold on, bro. I'm not gonna put all my chips on somebody that I can't count on when tough. And when hold on, we just sat right here and just said most of us vote emotionally. We won't even vote, and this bigger than us. If you don't vote or you vote for Trump, you upholding white supremacy. I don't give a
Votes emotionally though.
Yeah.
but that's what right here. When
And
you got men sitting here saying, "Oh, well, she gonna lock your ass up because she was a prosecutor, because she was an advocate."
That's the dismissive attitude.
No,
That's what I've been hearing.
First of all, this is the thing. So when you have this, you have the black people who she locks every nigga up she comes in contact with.
It
It's
doesn't
her
matter.
job.
Stop.
From black to white.
Then you go to the white people who say she's not hard enough on crime. That's what Trump. She's not tough enough on crime. Black people think she lock every up she come in contact
Pick
with.
your poison.
Right.
Pick your poison.
So it's like, and to what Dub's saying is, you're like, it's the last minute. It's better to be late to the party
Than never.
not to come to the party at all.
What,
But
has,
you
has
know why
Trump,
they're doing it.
has
But-
Trump has said anything to black folks?
Trump
I ain't
showed
heard
up
shit.
at the National Black Journalist meeting, and Kamala didn't.
Man, this
Okay.
nigga went to
But
he went to Detroit and this Detroit. Like,
Exactly.
come on, yo.
He just sat right here. I just sent you the link. He
And
just sat
talked
right
about-
here and dissed black folks,
And
bro.
Probably did.
No, he did.
Hey, bro.
Yeah,
y'all-
went
I'm
to
not
Detroit.
pro-Trump.
But
I'm
see,
not
yeah,
sitting here
but
defending
the
Trump.
fact that
I'm
this
saying
is-
he showed up at something Kamala didn't.
So this is where
Shouldn't he have
This-
to? Because the way he's been talking
Right. So
about
Kamala
people.
gets to skip out on
Hold
shit.
Trump didn't show up to 60 Minutes. And
No, she
Kamala
didn't.
Kamala did hers. Trump didn't
It was
go to
an
60
edited,
Minutes.
non-live interview, wasn't it?
yeah, it was.
It was live?
It
No,
was-
it
Okay.
did.
But he didn't show up to do the interview.
You're right.
So What's the difference?
I ain't confused.
Pick and choose
I'm not.
I'm not picking and choosing. I'm pointing facts.
I'm not. And we pushing out facts too, because again, we just acknowledge a portion of black men won't vote because of dumbass reasons.
Stop it. Can I call it what it is?
What is it?
It's a segment of society of men, black, white, whatever, that are just not going to vote for a woman. Like
Okay.
I'm gonna just call it what it is.
Okay.
And then there's a segment that's not going to vote for a black / Asian woman. They're not going to vote for a woman.
So now let's look at the bigger picture outside of race and gender. You vote.
Religion?
No, take religion out. It's simple. You vote, you push back on white supremacy. What we just acknowledged since I've been on this show, what us as a race does, we fight the hardest against white supremacy.
Aren't those the 3 biggest things we vote on?
Right. So if you don't vote for her or you vote for Trump, you pushing and upholding white supremacy, which that goes against you. So as a black man, why wouldn't you vote for her? I mean, she's smarter than.
See that's wrong too.
What you mean? How that's wrong?
Because you're talking as if Kamala's not going to uphold the tenets of white supremacy. You act like she's going to get in the White House and ain't going to get shot by the police.
She going to niggify the country.
Perpetuating the same.
And I'm gonna sit here.
You acting like.
And I'm going to sit here and I'm gonna stress this to the most. If you're not consistent voting, if you're not putting no money,
but what about to vote?
Then we're not mad. We're not in our feelings because Obama spoke the truth. Remember that.
I've been voting
I'm
for the
niggas.
past
But
15
that's
years.
not what I even still.
Every 2 years.
Even still.
See, it's
I
a
don't take
dismissive attitude.
That's not a dismissive attitude. In my opinion, when a talk like that, you weak. Because why you sit here, white folks talk to you, belittle you in your face, and you crack that shit. Come on, bro. The man is speaking
to our face.
But I think it's time that you start breaking glass ceilings. I think it's time that glass ceilings are broken. This is the election that you can break every glass ceiling.
Exactly.
You can break the black woman glass ceiling, gone. You can break the woman ceiling, gone. It's time to break these last glass ceilings. So then the next time we're not shooting, we're voting for her because she's black.
Exactly.
We're not
get it out the way.
We're not shooting for these glass ceilings anymore because we cleared all of them. There's still hurdles that have to be cleared, and we're still debating over these hurdles. They have to be cleared.
Exactly.
These hurdles have to.
So if you get it out the way, then we can actually, when the next one comes into play, now
you're not voting for the
exactly.
first woman.
You're not voting because she's black. You're not voting because you're not doing that.
You're voting for
what they're doing. And you still, and look, and even
so
then,
I'm gonna call it like I see it. This is what it is. You're voting for things to get them out the way. We voted for Obama to get that stupid stereotype out the way that a black man was never going to be office in our lifetime. We
or never could lead a powerful country.
Strictly because of that. Just to say, look, we did get a black man in office in our lifetime.
I mean, but again, he done things.
Now, with the Hillary thing, Hillary would have been the first woman, but like I said, I don't think white women supported her. That's why she lost.
Did.
And black women didn't either.
Well, that's why
because
she lost.
when she because that's super.
Black women supported Hillary.
No, they did not.
Who were they voting for other than Hillary?
The super predator. What killed her? Why? They just got finished saying how they talking down to black men. The super predator was talking about black children.
Nevertheless,
she never calmed that. And she, I'm gonna get this out. She didn't take her ass to Wisconsin too. And when she didn't take her ass to Wisconsin, she lost the blue wall, and that's how she lost that shit.
Have the support of white women. That's why she wasn't able to.
Exactly. That's the main thing.
Now, this is going to be the complete opposite because Vice President Harris is going to have the support of black women. It's not going to be the support of black women she's going to have to worry about.
It's not even the support of black men.
No, it's not. It's the support of white women. Like I think it's going to come down to white women again.
I do too.
That's who I believe that they are going to be the ones who push her across. If it doesn't happen, I'm wrong. I believe that black women are going to support because that's what we do with other black people.
My whole thing.
They're creating a narrative right now.
They still have to be support worthy. We're not just going to support any black person. That's caricature.
What Vice President Harris gives off is supportable. So we're going to support her.
Yeah, in my eyes, yeah.
Yeah,
but hold on, let me get back to y'all talk about disrespectful talking, blah blah. The most disrespectful motherfucker is young. The young are the most disrespectful to anybody. So I don't know how you feel offended by anything your former president is saying. That's the.
Well, am I talking to a former president or a young?
Doesn't matter.
Two different expectations.
I'm talking about how you're feeling
and how you're receiving that message.
The young talk the most disrespectful I've ever heard in my life.
I agree.
It's really that simple.
So
for me to listen to Obama, who is a eloquent, articulate
what I said last
black
week.
man, like just in general, I'm not mad. He's like another form of Michael Eric Dyson. Just because you don't like his, I'm just saying, just because you don't like his particular form or version,
he can come
he's a
across
black
all
man.
parallels.
He's still a black man. He has several different sides to him.
As much as because black people, this is what we hear. He talks so eloquently, so
stupid,
spoken,
so well spoken.
But we just,
I can't help it if I got my
have
education.
A vocabulary.
You know, I can't help if I paid attention.
So when he say
school.
Pookie and Ray Ray, what you get mad for? Like that don't even make sense. If it don't, if it doesn't affect you, don't even worry about it.
It's like my dad talking to me. It was like my dad talking.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Well,
you a lie.
My issue with the way he talks is it's creating a false narrative that black men are not out here voting simply because we are not supporting a Democratic candidate.
No, he broke that down.
What did he say then?
He said, "Don't sit here and don't vote for her because she a woman."
Exactly. So you create a narrative that we're not supporting her because we're misogynistic.
It's misogynistic when you hear black men speaking out loud saying they not gonna vote for her because she's a woman. So
who said that?
What?
Who said that?
Bro, I've had countless of conversations with black men.
Have you heard somebody say that?
I've heard plenty of conversations.
You want to know what's funny? I have actually heard that too.
I've heard plenty of black men talk. I even heard one that I went to school. He said, "I like my president grab." What?
Sometimes,
come on, bro.
Like I told you before, I think it's an element.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
We are not a monolith, yo.
Crazy, man. I don't even want to hear that weak ass.
They're not ready to accept a woman can be in that position. It's a segment of our population.
You got a segment of mommy issues.
And that's what bothers me the most, because it almost makes me feel like you need a white man to lead you to do that.
Yeah. You can take anything.
Of course,
white man
that's why people would support Kamala.
But see, the shit is weak when when these white folks do it in your face.
When you have the worst example of a white man to lead you, and you have this woman who is she's elegant, graceful and stuff, but you have the worst example of a white guy that can lead you, and this is who you want to throw.
That's what I'm saying, between your options.
That is the most disappointing thing. It's not if this white man is like a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
It's
try to overthrow the election.
Sitting here wondering about. He's
a traitor.
He's representing that.
So the fact is, you got two plain options. Two of them.
And you sit there and you actually pick the option that is going to court.
He's already convicted.
All types of felonies.
34.
Is a horrible person.
They have done nothing for black people.
I think Trump is a horrible person.
Right. So if you don't vote, if you don't vote, he wins. If you vote for him, he wins. Either way, you on the wrong side of the.
It's not so much the issue of the candidate. It's not Trump himself. It's the ideology that goes with not supporting a Democrat.
You only got two options, bro.
But we're not talking about Trump.
You could do the Green Party.
No, I'm not even talking about Jill Stein. Okay, what if we replace Trump with another Republican?
That ain't gonna happen, but
I'm just making a situation. This ain't about Trump. This is about. This is okay. What I'm saying is, this is not about Trump. This is not about Kamala. This is about Democrats and Republicans and their renewed support and expectations for black people. What if a Republican who does come in after Trump makes sense and black people support him?
Okay, then it's cool.
Because that's not what you have right now.
No, you don't got
that. That's not what we have right now.
Right.
I'm against the anti-intellectualism on both sides.
Right, and it's clear one side versus the other. Still saying, well, I don't know. Let me wait and see. I ain't gonna vote for it.
Point
talking
is
about?
valid, but it's just like between the current options that you have right
now.
But
they did this before
and it's
Trump.
either A or B. No, I mean this is either A or B. There ain't no B minus
It's
C.
A
none of that.
or
It's
B.
A or
If you
B.
supported Bush, you were labeled,
That's different, though.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna tell you why it was different, because it's not, the political system is nowhere near as crazy as it is now. You had actually,
Landscape is
they
entirely
worked
different.
across the line. They actually made deals with each other.
Look,
you be labeled.
I get that.
they
Right,
always
that's a
be
big
like,
thing right now.
but what
That's why Trump is where he's
but
at.
no, they'd be like, but that person's not like that. We're not going to have that here. It's
we know how to reach across the aisle.
Right.
Going
And
back
ain't none of that
forth.
shit no more. It's winner takes
What I'm
all.
trying to say is what the Democrats are doing now in terms of their outreach is the same thing they were doing before Trump. And now, because the black vote isn't guaranteed anymore, they start using shaming tactics as opposed to using policy.
What's shaming when the man told the truth? He told you about his personal experience when he was in office.
Because the statistics
it's
do
the
not
same
support
shit.
the logic.
Yes, it does. The
No,
number,
there is a
Listen,
5% drop.
I-
75% black men still support Kamala.
and how close the race is. That 5% is a lot. It is. The
No.
race is only separated
they say
in
the-
most
they say
polls.
the race
2
is
points.
100%
black
2
men to
points.
reach the 25.
The 5 points is major right now because that's how tight the race is. So what we
Good.
trying? So
She
and that's
gotta earn
fine.
that.
Fine, but you just sitting here complaining because now she gonna come out with a seminar now
But you're
and just
telling
she's
me that
pandering
she
to
has
black
to
men.
earn it, but what does Trump have to do?
What he doing?
He gotta earn it too.
He ain't though.
Okay,
But if
I'm
we-
not voting for Trump.
But if you don't vote, you still voting for him.
No,
what
I'm
saying
not.
is
See,
this-
that's
still
that
up-
bully.
No, it's
No,
not. You
what I'm
still
saying is
upholding
you're
white
saying-
I
supremacy.
have no choice but to
She
vote for
has to-
Kamala. Is
she
what I'm
has to
saying.
earn-
Is what I'm being
Exactly.
told. Okay.
So what I'm go
It's
ahead.
like she has to go a little bit further to make you earn her vote.
Which is no, it's
And
nothing. Which is
provide
nothing
policy.
wrong.
Is
Which is
that-
nothing wrong with that.
Is that fair? She has to go the extra mile to earn your vote. Whereas, like I say, you're
So why
willing to
complain
vote
that she's
for-
gonna do a
you're
seminar
willing to
then?
vote for Trump, who
I'm
has
not
done
voting for
nothing
Trump.
for you. Like I told you earlier, the only thing black people follow Trump for is because he gave you a little money.
That's it.
Do you a couple
And
of dollars.
he free
And
Kodak
then free
Black
Kodak
and
and,
Lil Wayne
like,
and all them.
He threw you a couple of bones, and
That's
now y'all
it.
jumping.
Did for black.
Something free, and it's like it kind of bothers me to an extent. Like
We got a woman
it's
here.
more
We got
than that.
a.
That's why inflation's like it is.
Yeah, because
he
of
threw
his
you that
ass.
money.
His ass. Then you got a woman here who sit here and told you what you want to do. If you wanna be a homeowner, I'm gonna give you a $50,000 tax credit. If you ever want to have kids, we gonna give you a 6,000 tax credit. That we gonna do that. If you want to do, she's naming. If you want to start a business, I'm gonna give you a $50,000 tax credit to start a business. What the Trump said? Nothing. But you, not you, sitting here in your goddamn feelings because the man told you some real, but you can't even say nothing to excuse my name. Excuse my name. It just fascinates how get in their feelings
like
on
I
the
say,
softest.
Vice President Harris to go above and beyond, but you're willing to give this guy who's a felon, whose past has been shown who he is, and you're willing to throw your vote behind him.
Or don't vote, period.
You really want to know what the truth is? The truth is black people are about business because you have
No,
to
they're not.
understand
No, they're
Abraham
not.
Lincoln didn't like us. He freed the slaves. Lyndon B. Johnson hated us. He signed all those civil rights bills.
Mm-hmm.
Black people are used to fighting the president. That's why a lot of black men are looking at Trump in a different light. Because at the end of the day, we want our and if we don't get it from Kamala, we're going to look for somebody else to get
And
it.
he's not giving it.
But the point I'm trying to make is, regardless of whoever president is, we're gonna fight regardless.
And it's again,
Yeah, like black
I don't
people are
have
the
no
most
problem
resourceful
with
people
that.
regardless,
But
so we're
fight
still
for,
gonna be doing
but give me something tangible to reason why. Everything that I'm hearing from the black men I've encountered isn't tangible. It's BS. Load of the fruit. So when I hear Obama eloquently saying to you, hey guys, listen, you got two clear choices here. You vote, you push back on what we're trying to give you guys. That is the Emmett Till, the George Floyd, the Voting Rights Act, all the above. You don't vote. The white supremacy, Project 2025, we just had it up there. This is real. Everything that you claim that you gonna get, you will never see that. So what the you talking about? Like, why this is bigger than us, bro? It really is. You vote for Trump, you go against your own interest. You don't vote, period, you still go against your own interest. And then you wonder why they pander the way they do. Because they got the data to show that. If you come consistently, fight consistently, they gotta talk to you instead of at you.
All right.
And then you wouldn't feel no type of
All
way.
right, I'm over politics. I think I'm over politics right now. Unless anybody else got anything
I'm good.
to say.
No, we good. We spent
Like-
well over an hour.
Like I'm over it. Like
You know, I be
all
on
I'm
some fuck
saying is,
politics.
I'm tired of them damn commercials.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
tired
tired of them damn. I can't watch nothing on TV without
5 commercials, political commercials.
Brought to you,
Tired of commercials.
paid for by,
paid for by.
sponsored by.
Like, I'm so tired of commercials.
It's advertisement, not
I'm
an
over
affiliation.
political commercials. I'm over. I'm so ready for this to be over. So ready for it to be over.